Yo, what's good, y'all? Back with some more videos, you know what I'm saying? Today we got something a little special. Oops, let me zoom into that. Recently, I've been watching a lot of WWE. I took a break from watching it for a few years, but y'all know what brought me back? CM Punk's return in November at Survivor Series. And Randy Orton came back too. Bro, I can't even tell y'all what I did when I heard that CM Punk theme hit. But I've been watching wrestling for a little minute now, since November. Started watching again. I've been watching every SmackDown, every Raw, every PLE. It's amazing. We're in this new age, new era, whatever y'all want to call it. But I've been hearing about AEW. Every time I go on Twitter, I'm like seeing some controversy with WWE and AEW. It's like a rival company thing. Keep in mind, I never watched AEW. And I wanted to check this out. What went wrong? What's wrong with it? Because I know a lot of people hate on it. So I'm trying to see what's the deal. So without further ado, let's get straight to it.
But is it game over for All Elite Wrestling, the promotion that once had capacity crowds and knocked NXT from Wednesday to Tuesday nights? Join us now as WrestleMania looks at the sad decline of AEW. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
Yeah.
Also check out our new website, WrestleMania.com.
Yeah, this intro is hard. Yeah.
So how did it come to this? Upward ticket sales, dismal ratings for Rampage and Collision, and reports of gloom and doom in AEW. What has caused AEW from a viable alternative to WWE to a promotion that has become a laughingstock to fans?
Laughingstock. Where are the fans?
Jeopardy? Well, let's look at how things went from the
Also, I heard about the CM Punk thing. Like, I saw him like roughing somebody up backstage. Me personally, we would have had to fight right there, but that's just me.
For AEW, just how bad things really are and whether AEW can turn things around. Nothing succeeds like success.
Indeed.
And for some fans, it's
Quote that on your
difficult to
walls.
recall how groundbreaking and successful AEW was. The promotion was a huge gamble considering it had no TV deal and would have been the first significant promotion in the US since WCW's demise. AEW wasn't afraid to be different, bringing in wrestlers many casual fans were unaware of, but who showed plenty of potential from their runs in smaller territories.
Cody Rhodes.
AEW's first
Speaking of
pay-per-view
Cody
Double or
Rhodes,
Nothing was
oh my goodness. WrestleMania 40. If you have not watched it yet, go watch it, man. That was the most
the sellout and brought in excellent pay-per-view numbers, despite fans used to paying $9.95 to get WWE pay-per-views on the WWE network as part of the streaming service's overall content. While more than a few fans scoffed at the likelihood of AEW's success, the promotion not only landed a TV deal on TNT, the former home of WCW Nitro, it crushed the WWE's attempts to sap its ratings by airing NXT.
Watch live and local news on a variety of networks
At the same time.
yeah.
For time, AEW could do no wrong. The promotion's success with Dynamite led to TNT extending its original deal to 5 years and adding much needed money into its coffers. AEW programming was exciting and
Jack
featured
Swagger,
a variety of styles and
Chris
wrestlers.
Jericho.
Fans and wrestlers
I know a lot of
tired
like
the
older
WWE product.
WWE wrestlers go to AEW. Like, I know Edge just went there.
AEW as a solid alternative to the WWE.
What's his name? Adam
It wasn't soon
Copeland.
enough where wrestlers saw it as an alternative for employment and were ready to jump there when their contracts expired. While AEW had its problems, particularly in the women's division, which was weak enough that some critics argue AEW put a hiatus on it until its wrestlers were better trained, the company was a wild success. Not even the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic seemed to slow it down. AEW succeeded thanks to its fresh booking, use of factions, and a willingness to book tag team wrestling as more than a sideshow attraction. AEW did its best to connect with fans through social media,
My son Dean
cultivating
Ambrose,
increased
John
interest.
Moxley.
The promotion was doing well for itself,
GOAT.
bringing in solid numbers for pay-per-views
In my
and
books.
attracting some of wrestling's
One of
biggest
my
names to
all-time
the promotion.
favorites.
So what went wrong? A slow but steady decline. Businesses can go belly up due to various circumstances such as mismanagement, overexpansion, bad investments, a failure to comprehend important changes in the market, complacency, and many others. However, a successful business typically doesn't go out of business overnight. It's a process that slowly builds momentum, eventually taking an owner by surprise. Often they don't know what hit them, even though the warning signs were there from the very start. In the case of AEW, there have been warning signs for some time. First is a failure to grow its audience. AEW Dynamite is a show that performs consistently well. Wednesday nights are a good night for the show as the WWE runs neither of its main roster shows against it, well, at least for now. It's also developed a core audience willing to stay with it. Unfortunately, AEW has been unable to grow its audience beyond 1 million viewers.
People just weren't feeling it.
Continues to perform well in the ratings in terms of coming
Maybe
in at the top
WWE's
5
just
of
taking all their
cable
views. Wait, let me
television.
just
It's not appealing to all
total
wrestlers.
viewership on same day. Yeah, I see it, right? On SmackDown on top.
AEW has shown discipline in sticking to the fundamentals that built its initial success, but it needs to consider finding a way to keep its existing fans and bring in new ones. The second is a bloated roster. One of AEW's biggest problems is its bloated roster. Tony Khan's hoarder-like mentality toward acquiring any and all talent released by WWE has led to a highly underutilized roster. Since AEW is a private company, it's unknown how much they pay for its talent. While that's unknown, we do know that AEW has so much talent that it's not used because there's not enough TV time to utilize them. This has created a major problem for viewers and wrestlers, as it's rare that anyone but a top-level
So is a
star gets any
suggestion
consistent
cutting
booking.
down the
Now,
roster?
This problem isn't
You have
unique
too
to
many
AEW,
wrestlers.
as Triple H has found himself in a similar situation. Still, in AEW's case, the amount of wrestlers it has under contract is mind-boggling. Thirdly, other overexpansion.
Gotta cut some people out, man.
Overloaded roster isn't the only example of excess in the company. AEW's initial success led the company to launch its own wrestling game. This costly and lengthy process produced
I
an
heard of the
average
game.
with very average
I heard the
sales.
game is
Granted, it was an
alright,
ambitious
it's pretty
undertaking,
good.
but it was
I
unnecessary
never
so
played it.
early on in AEW's run. And in hindsight, a clear example
Me
of
personally,
AEW's
I would
reach
give it a try.
exceeding its grasp. The problem is AEW's decision to go ahead with running its Saturday night show Collision. On paper, it seemed like a good
Is that my
prospect
son
as to go
Rusev?
ahead with running its Saturday
I
night
haven't
show
seen him in a
Collision.
minute.
On paper, it seemed like a good prospect as Warner Brothers Discovery would pay AEW additional money. The promotion would have another 2 hours to air content on cable TV rather than YouTube, and it seemed like a possible solution for the company's problem between CM Punk and his detractors. Putting Punk and wrestlers friendly to him on one show could keep any disgruntled parties apart, giving Collision the added attraction of Punk anchoring the show.
Samoa
The problem
Joe.
with Collision is that it had a terrible time slot, as it often competes against sports programming that limits Collision's audience. The loss of CM Punk has only worsened Collision's ratings. Fourth is problem with big men. One of the many ways AEW distinguished itself from the WWE was its willingness to utilize various styles of wrestling: strong style, lucha libre, traditional mat wrestling, and more. The variety of styles created exciting matches and variety, except for one
So many
area:
styles
the
of
use of
wrestling.
big men. While AEW has several big men working on the company, such as Wardlow, Lance Archer, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Big Bill, they've been primarily used to get over smaller wrestlers.
Is that Big Cass from WWE? Back in the day, Enzo and Big Cass. Oh man, good
Although
old
this
days,
appears
good
to
old
be
days,
changing.
childhood
AEW's
days.
booking of its big men made it seem like the company wanted to ensure no one confused the promotion with the WWE, where big men with little wrestling ability tended to get undeserved pushes. This refusal to book big men well has hurt AEW, as seen by its short-sighted booking of Wardlow, an agile and talented big man whose popularity was white hot after he left MJF. It's difficult to recall such a hot act being so
Crazy
mishandled
pose.
by the company.
He looks scary.
Fifth, injuries are us. Another persistent problem for
Injuries.
AEW is
Oh,
its
yeah.
unwillingness to rein in many of its performers' penchant for turning wrestling matches into glorified human demolition derbies. While wrestling has evolved and will continue to, AEW's performers' hazardous activities in the ring have led to far many injuries. The high injury rate isn't limited to high flying and daredevils.
There's been a
like
few,
the Lucha Brothers or
matches
Darby Allin.
recently in
For example, Bryan
WWE
Danielson continues to work
where
a strong style despite a scary medical history and a
Daniel
tendency to
Bryan.
get hurt. Although AEW has issued directives
I love
limiting
Daniel Bryan.
certain moves
There's
or
been a
requiring
few
wrestlers to obtain
instances where
permission to use
wrestlers got
certain
injured,
maneuvers,
like, and they had to
AEW's
stop the
injuries
match.
show no
I know
sign
one, it
of
was
stopping.
Carmelo
Number
Hayes
6,
versus
AEW's CM
some
Punk
other guy.
problem.
I forgot.
If anything
That was a little while
epitomizes
ago.
AEW's management problem, it's the company's handling
And one of them, I think it was somebody from Imperium. or something. They had to stop the match. I don't know. But we want everyone to, you know what I'm saying, stay safe.
Of CM Punk, and the
Here's
rumors
the
of Punk and
CM
other
Punk
wrestlers going into
controversy
business for
thing.
themselves on camera and backstage. While we may never know the whole story of 2022's or
I know that, like, in WWE now, like, sometimes when, like, making a promo, they, like, make fun of CM Punk for, like, punching people in the face, fighting with people backstage. I don't know the full story about that, though.
the post-media scrum battle royal where Punk, Ace, Steel, the Young Bucks,
Educate
and
me.
Kenny Omega had some sort of dust-up. Tony Khan's inability to keep things from reaching the boiling point shows his lack of leadership. Allegations that Khan acts
he's a
too much
bad
like
leader,
wrestlers' friends and not
supposedly.
enough like a boss may be warranted. Chris Jericho's recent comments that everyone in AEW needs to work under Vince McMahon for 6 months are another sign AEW's president lacks leadership skills. And too many C-listers.
So are they out of control,
AEW
basically?
doesn't have a problem with its booking, it has a problem with who books it. AEW's booking is solid for the most part, with the promotion booking storylines that develop over time but typically don't drag. The promotion has created compelling characters played by people
Is this
who
guy
can
still
perform
in AEW? Because I've been saying, like, people saying that he's coming to WWE soon. People are waiting for him at the Royal Rumble.
fantastic
What's
matches.
the word with
AEW is brimming
MJF?
with many main eventers or wrestlers who could be main eventing with some TV time, uppercarders and mid-carders. For some reason, AEW think fans are interested in its mid-card talent. Traditionally, a promotion is wise to use wrestlers on the undercard to develop talent. However, AEW has so many main event and uppercard talents, mainly relatively young, that it doesn't need to use wrestlers who fans see as an enhancement talent. It's downright criminal that AEW underutilizes talents like
Rusev
Miro,
versus John
Andrade,
Cena.
Lance
That was
Archer, and
like,
others,
what,
and chooses to feature matches only the most
2014,
devoted fans
something
want
like
to
that.
see. And judging by the ratings for Rampage
Good
and
old
Collision,
days.
the number is dropping. But is AEW profitable? A critical factor in the equation is whether AEW is profitable. The
Word,
company
they gotta make
boasts
that
of
money
revenue
at the end of the
gains,
day.
But as we pointed out, how much
You
is
know
the
what I'm
promotion bringing in compared to how much it's spending? AEW's roster has to be expensive, and it's hard to imagine the company is making money renting venues when they are full of empty seats.
Yeah, that is
Fortunately,
crazy.
AEW is bringing
They
money
need
in
more
from its
in-person
pay-per-views.
attendance.
Fans seem committed to purchasing additional shows beyond the traditional quarterly shows. Nonetheless, it isn't as certain whether AEW is making a profit yet. That isn't unusual, as starting businesses often deal with low profits or operating at a loss. The question is just how much money
I know
AEW
that's
is
common
losing and how
sense.
much longer
When you
Tony
first start a
Khan can
business, you're not
expect
gonna
his
just
father to bankroll
get
it.
rich like
One
that.
thing's for sure,
Takes
the
time.
WWE smells blood. A history has shown that the WWE is always ready to take out a competitor when the opportunity arises. Those familiar with the WWE's business practices knows Vince McMahon's ruthless aggression phrase is much more than a storyline. McMahon will take any advantage, and right now AEW needs to be mindful of its vulnerability. Whether it's booking a wrestling show against Dynamite, which is a possibility as it's unknown whether Raw will stay on Monday nights, or which night NXT will air on when it moves to the
do y'all watch
CW,
NXT?
or trying
I've
to
never
root
gotten
AEW's
into
current
NXT.
TV partner
I know a
Warner
few
Brothers
wrestlers from
Discovery
it,
into
but
acquiring Raw.
I just
the
stick to,
WWE
you know what I'm
knows that
saying,
time is on its
SmackDown,
side.
Raw.
But is there any hope? A recent report from
type
Dave
thing.
Meltzer suggests a sense of
And I
pessimism
just recently
in
found
AEW
out that
due to the
Shawn
ratings
Michaels
woes and
is
poor
running
ticket sales.
NXT.
While part of the problem is
Never knew that.
perception, as it's easy to see bad ratings and empty seats, but wrestlers may not be seeing intangibles such as TV rights or pay-per-view money. AEW is in a bad spot. Just how bad remains unknown. We know their ticket sales have been rubbish lately, and their Friday and Saturday shows struggle weekly. However, history has repeatedly shown that promoters can take a company on life support and revive it.
That's
It was
it.
seen with
Never
the WWF
count
when
anybody
Vince
out.
McMahon adopted
'Cause
the
they can have a
Attitude Era
crazy
to combat
comeback and just-
WCW's dominance with its New World Order fuel success. Ironically, the NWO storyline was just one, albeit a large component, of Eric Bischoff turning WCW around from a company that couldn't draw a few viewers or sell tickets. Bischoff faced many of the same problems
Look
Tony
at this
Khan
guy.
faces. But what do you guys think? Is AEW on the
Oh, man.
decline? Let us know in the comments down.
What do y'all think? Y'all think it's on a decline? Or no? I don't know, man. Never really got into AEW, but I go on Twitter, I see a lot of people down talking AEW. I just seen a post like, this had to be like, what, 30 minutes ago? It was like, what did it say? It was like AEW stands for Arenas Empty Wrestling, because like nobody comes to their shows. And I also know that WWE and AEW, they be like throwing shots at each other low key, like on the shows. I don't know. We got a little beef going on. Looks like WWE is winning though. But let me know how y'all feel about that. But without further ado, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that. Let me know if y'all want some more wrestling videos. And I'm gonna catch y'all later.